Right. Well, last we left off, it was a bit climactic. The essentially the escape and the attempt to find the warlord. You guys were both fleeing a ravenous, out of control crowd slash mob that were essentially crazed and wild. Um, you guys went through the fifth tower, part of the palace, which contained the warlord's personal room. But you guys were also helping the clan that was there as well to both defend against the attempted assassination attempt alongside the mob by Zaibatsu agents, who were able to get inside the palace without coming through the front door, as well as other members of the mob. You guys were able to help the daimyo, or the second in command of the clan, attempt to contact for help. That resulted in essentially the palace reverting back to its old state. Before it was a palace, it was a citadel. And with the activation of the citadel was the creation of stone golems coming out of the walls to help protect. And then you help the daimyo with a ritual to contact for help from his mother. You guys were successful in that, killing a giant who was part of this assault. And the small appearance of Munakata having been brought forth from whatever ritual had taken place to help his grandson. The notice that some of the people that were attacking were holding red power gems, which you guys now are starting to realize that they're all essentially just like mini suicide bombs that they've been using. With the help of the daimyo, you guys are given a item that will let you like direct path straight to the warlord's room. As thanks, you guys do so, and upon entering this area, this like open sort of library, standing at the door is the Ronin. And blue, a platinum dragonborn lady who was essentially just a sort of physical hologram. Upon opening the door to the warlord, you see that it is her in a continual cycle of essentially death and rebirth, with the warlord's diamond stuck in her chest. She essentially gets Finch to cut the diamond out to both save and kill her at the same time. And while Finch is essentially stuck in that sort of state, everybody else defends him after they come under attack by some more fanatic crowd. Wessel goes down, but is able to be brought back up. During this time, Finch has a couple of visions thanks to his closeness to the diamond, as well as just his general powers of the eyes. He gets a vision of the past in regards to Gok Tengri, his daughter, and potentially what might be the key to her location. And he gets a vision of one that doesn't really answer a lot of questions, but a bit more. It shows him a bit more of what he might have been before who he is now. The only way, by this point, the only way to really gain control over the diamond is to be a part of it. And so as Finch cuts the diamond out, he cuts a hole in his chest out, and thus essentially putting the diamond where his heart would be. With the attempt to save and kill the Ronin successful, Finch passes out. But before the Ronin essentially dissipates away, she goes, "Hey, the warlord's underneath the labyrinth. I had to banish him there. Somebody was whispering into his ear after his wife died. You know, he was going crazy. Thanks." So you guys go past a secret stairwell that leads spirals down for however long until you reach a stone door with 3 skulls on it. Skulls ask some questions, culminating in Finch saying he has no idea in regards to who he is or what he wants to know, and the Skulls replied that all will be known within the labyrinth. The doors open. You guys walk through. Pitch black, can't see a thing before Ezekiel steps on a bit of stone that, like a pressure plate sort of system. A red veiny light strikes up along the walls and essentially just lights up this area. Like what the Ronin had said, very much a labyrinth of sorts as far as the eye can see. The roof, it's hard to tell how high the roof is. Perception is a strange thing in this place, as the roof looks close enough to touch, but it's still so far out of reach. But it's covered in a sort of glowing bluish light. You guys wind down some steps to be essentially on the surface floor of this labyrinth, where it essentially looks like a trading post of sorts. And that's where we left off. And when we pick up is, as you guys look around, the way you came down to be on the labyrinth floor, looking back at it, is now no longer visible. It now just looks like a wall of the labyrinth.
Right. I look to my comrades and I go, where do we go from here?
Is there anything that I can... It's dark.
It was no longer, as essentially as you've made your way down onto the surface floor, the torches and lamps and the light sources, like a Skyrim dungeon where everything's lit up, but really it doesn't look like anybody's been here for like 1,000 years. There's a fire pit close by that's lit up that looks brand new compared to the stonework around it. There are a bunch of tables around you containing tools of varying degrees, weapons, armors, crates and barrels containing produce that looks like it was plucked straight from a tree but doesn't look like it's rotten or decayed. Tables filled with paper. But with a quick glance around, you can see that there's about 3, 4, 5, 6 sort of rooms within this area.
Well, I guess we'll have a look around.
5 of these rooms have no markings on the doors, wooden, no sort of indication of what might be inside, except for one essentially to your right. Looks like it's like a longest sort of style room. It's hard to really tell by just the geography of this place itself, but it's the only one with iconography, and it's that of an anvil with an hourglass with a hammer striking it.
That's cool. I turn to Finch and I say, Finch, I apologize if I come off any sort of silliness, but what was the warlord's name? Maybe if we call it out, he'll be able to respond.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry, I was asking if it was dark, and then when you said it wasn't, that sort of
Threw you off?
Well, yeah, because there was going to be a second question I was going to ask, and then when you answered the other one, in a way I wasn't expecting. Yeah, I forgot to ask the second one. Because I have 120 feet of... The 120 feet of dark vision no longer matters. But because I have 120 feet of true sight...
Yep.
Is there anything that I can see beyond into those rooms before having actually entered them? Just to filter out which ones might not be useful to enter.
No, because the true sight doesn't really let you see through solid objects. It's not X-ray.
No, but it gives me essentially like a like fog of war. Like I can't see through and into the brick, but within my 120 feet radius, like, the fucking through the door and then around here. Oh, look at that guy.
No, as of right now, there is nothing that sort of pings that sort of sense off.
Right. In that case, left is always right, as they say.
They do say that.
I'll enter the leftmost room.
It's leftmost room. It's heavily wooden. All the doors look heavily solid. But you go to it and you're able to easily, no handle, push it open, revealing inside, first off, straight in front of you, are 3 large silver chests overflowing in gold coins.
Overflowing.
Yes.
Someone was loaded.
Do you think that? Do you think this is cursed gold coins? Because if it isn't, then I wouldn't mind. Well, I've got empty pockets.
Wessel would like to inspect a singular gold coin.
Actually, this is not mine. I won't take this.
Alright. Wessel, you walk up. These 3 chests that are sort of continuously overflowing with gold coins. When they reach the floor of this carpet they're on, any gold coin that bounces off the carpet onto the stonework underneath it turns to dust.
Just gonna
So
flip it onto the stone.
If you catch it before it hits the floor, you might be rich.
You're able to easily pick one of the coins up. As you do so, the coinage on it. This is very old Arcosian gold. The emblem on the front or the head of this gold coin is looks like a king of some sort, but not one that you are familiar with. And on the back is essentially looks to be a very basic scenic mountaintop. Apart from the age of the coin, it feels about the same, weight-wise. And you feel no sort of negative implication from taking it.
I'll pocket a few of them. I don't feel like they'll have a lot of value, but I mean, still be handy to have a look at later on. Oh, not have a look at, but just I don't know, ask someone if.
Yeah, an antique salesman. Hey,
Yeah.
I found, my grandmother lent this to me before she passed. I want to see how much I could get for this.
Actually, I'm gonna bag 20 of them then.
20? All right.
Yeah.
The only other thing within this sort of L-bend shaped room is a stone desk at sort of the other back end, very large, with lots of sort of varied paperwork on it.
Can I go look at the paperwork?
Yeah.
Do I have to? So for me to get to the paperwork, do I have to stand on this carpet that makes coins disappear?
No.
Then I would do that because I don't want to touch the carpet that makes shit disappear.
You don't have to. It's there's a bit of room for to walk in, have a quick look around,
Right,
and realize that the only thing within this bench-shaped room is 3 chests here that are continuously overflowing with gold onto a carpet, and then if they fall from the carpet onto the stone, they're gone.
Ah, right. So it's like the coins are bubbling. It's just
Yeah, like boiling water of gold coin.
fucking real weird. I walk around that cautiously, and I just look at the paperwork, and I just kind of peer it, and I just see if I can read it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
This is old Arcosian, for sure. You only know this because of your study at the academy.
Yeah.
That this is vaguely like you can pick it up and get the basics, but anything more than that would be too much for you unless you wanted to like study over it for a period of time.
No, I don't know. Honestly, if I can just have a good 3-minute read, just to kind of just see what it's about, and if it does intrigue me, then I will study the paperwork.
All right, roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Let's go, bro. Hard dice. Fucking doing well. All right. We look at perception. Was it?
Yeah.
6.
6. A lot of it is in like a sort of cursive that you weren't taught or registered at your school. The bits and pieces that you're able to make out of are like very basic things like orders, deliveries, packages that need to be taken care of. It makes mentions of the Sealy Court, the Unsealy Court.
Does it mention Zaibatsu?
No, it does not. No mention of Zaibatsu, either in normal or Old Tongue. But something that does kind of sort of like strike out is a word that sort of like piques your interest. And then once you're able to like, oh yeah, that's what that translates into. It's a beacon. The stability of a beacon needs essentially some sort of beacon needs to be repaired.
Right. Okay. Does it give locations or details?
Not that you're able to pick up on.
All right. I'm gonna take that, fold it up, put it into my little pockets.
Yep, you've essentially grabbed yourself a book, but yay big. Have it guess, maybe it's 130 pages.
Okay. Sick. I'm like, all right, might be good for when we do some camping. So I put it in my pocket, and I guess see what the group wants to do.
Danzok is essentially essentially uninterested.
Yeah.
But more or less, he's essentially keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
He stayed by the door. He's watching what you guys are doing. He's watching what's happening outside.
Cool. Sick.
But then he goes, "Yo, Ezekiel, there's a cat out here."
There's a cat out here.
Yeah. An actual one, not like what you've got.
All right, well, let me look. And I peer at the doorway, and I look around to find this cat.
At what appears to be the entrance to the start of what might be the labyrinth itself, this sort of passageway, is a ginger cat.
Oh. All right. And I go out of the room, and I maybe 15 feet from it, and I kneel to one knee and go, "Come here, kitty." Do the fucking noise. The fucking kitty.
Are you speaking to this cat? In what language?
Yeah, good point. Well, I presume this cat does not know Leonin, or do I know if the Queen of Cats has a particular language? Because I don't know it. I only know Goblinoid, Leonin, and Goblinoid.
You know Goblinoid twice?
Common, Leonin,
He's
and
very
Goblinoid.
proficient.
Yeah, well, yeah, common to the Desert Kingdoms, mate. You know, and then I know Goblinoid. I'll say it in common.
Yep.
You know, I'll say "Here, kitty," and I'll say Leonin. Then I'll say it in Goblinoid as well. Just see which one responds to.
No real response to Leonin.
Yeah.
But when you say Hikari in Goblinoid, it kind of like tilts its head,
Yeah.
slow blinks, and then bolts off.
Oh, get it away. Thank you for that, Donzok. Do you think that means something? A random cat that's here?
I don't know. The only cats I know of are dead or they're part sea.
Right. Well, yes. Catfish, as you said. Right. We should probably keep going, right? To see the other rooms?
Yeah, next room. I'm heading to the next room.
All right. Danzok is going to agree, but he started to wander around like the table containing all like essentially the tools, the gears, and the armors. He's having a look at that. There are past this first left room. There are three other. They look to be like three other smaller rooms by just how far along a wall that a door is. There's no sort of indication beyond that, besides 3-4 statues on the left-hand side that are kind of taking up this corner spot. These statues, at least for you, Ezekiel, like maybe you've seen their face before, but there's no sort of insignia in regards to like here he is or like nothing to tell you who they are.
Right. Do I remember where I've seen them before?
Make a history check.
Alright. Oh, this dice set's fucked, cunt. 7.
7. The best you can correlate to is that some form of history class back at the academy.
Alright.
Unsure as to regards to what their sort of what their deal was, but it's easy enough to guess that it was some sort of military or these are fighting people by just the style of clothing that they're wearing.
Right.
Like the first room, these other doors are easily pushable, and they all seem to just be small personal quarters containing like essentially the very bare basics: a bed, a bookshelf with a number of books, desk, table. These either look like or correlate to some form of like a place to stay overnight sort of detail that
Lodging.
you guys lodging, or well, like sort of a permanent but very basic workers' quarters.
Any gold in this room?
No.
No, it's a workers' quarters, mate. They don't get shit.
You never know, mate.
There were no unions in Arcosis back this far.
That's true.
There are chests in each room, but the chests have got like a heavy iron lock on them.
You know.
Yeah.
You know. Let's just
I
let Finch just fucking like kick that shit off. You
Yeah,
know?
I turned to Finch and West and I go, do you want to see what's in those crates?
No, I'm not gonna karate kick it off. I'll actually use my quarter stuff.
Right. I got to West and like, what do you make?
Oh yeah, I've got no shrewd investigator points.
No, you
Fuck,
do
we haven't
not.
rested yet.
No, we have not.
We haven't
Oh,
rested in 3
and you're
sessions.
poisoned. Don't forget, Brandon.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I thought I was like, damn. I don't know that Cougar Man told me that because he hadn't told me how that worked yet. So I don't know if I was actually poisoned.
Yeah,
No, you
Pokemon
are-
style. Every
thanks.
time you walk here.
Thanks to Ezekiel, you are poisoned.
Well, Ezekiel doesn't know that.
True.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Where do I... Shit, where should I mark that? I'll mark that here. Hi. Yeah,
Hey, Darwin. Oh, she's gone.
there
Tell her
we
I said
go.
hello.
Nice big letters. Which is going to be... Now that I've got no shrewd investigator points, it's going to hurt being poisoned.
It's easy enough to smack these locks with a quarterstaff, but it feels like besides the physicality of the locks themselves, there's something else going on with them.
Something else, huh? The eyes that see the unseen.
Alright,
Damn. Too bad I don't have any of my detect magic, dispel magic. Man, no one even knows motherfucking knock. None of my key shit's gonna help me here either.
No, this is
Flurry of blows the fucking lock.
this squad is a very a low magic squad.
Yeah, Ezekiel is our only magic dude, and he
Yeah.
doesn't know any like utility magic whatsoever.
Yeah, he can smite, he can lay on hands. That's all you really need, you know what I mean?
I mean, I guess. Oh, does this even work?
I'm pretty sure I'm out of land
So-
hands.
Yes, Mike, we were saying that that's all you have, lay on hands and
Well,
swipe.
lay on hands.
No,
Also,
I've got
well,
five
actually-
lane hands left. I got 5 left.
Oh, nice.
Fitch,
there's
I'm
a
gonna
lot-
lay my hands on you.
Can I lock
No, I have to hit it with flurry of blows.
Yes, Wessel, why don't you try and lockpick it for me?
Okay.
But I'm going to need you to roll me an Arcana check as well.
Okay. I kind of check.
I can't check
18.
it.
19.
19. You go to work the pick and work the locks. And then you were able to figure out that each chest has been booby trapped
Oh.
magically. But it's a very basic sort of booby trap, something that you've already sort of dealt with before, back in your past. Just trying to, as you want to do out in the wilds, you're able to do the key combinations while you're lockpicking to divert the spell attached to the locks, and you're able to get each chest unlocked.
Oh, yo. If rabbits could sweat like hard out, he'd be drenched.
The chests, there's about 3 to 4 in total. You're able to find inside the chests one. Each chest contains 2 sets of personalized clothing. One seems to be a very more formal attire, very old. The first one, a more of a casual getup. One chest contains a diary of newish goblinoid, so very much more in the lines of what you guys are able to read and write now. And across all chests combined, you're able to grab 16 platinum, 34 gold, 12 silver, and 119 copper.
God damn. I see Wessel pull the money. I'm like, Wessel, may I have some of that money?
Yeah. 16 platinum. What was after that? The platinum again?
34 gold.
34 gold. It was 116 copper, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
No silver.
Huh?
And that's a modern day gold, or is that ancient Arcosian gold?
This is old.
Yeah, right.
Just like the gold from
It
before.
probably spends the same, right? You know.
It's essentially the same sort of iconography on the other pieces, except for the platinum. The platinum on the front contains an imagery of Gok Tengri striking down somebody that is unfamiliar to you.
Yeah.
But in the last chest, inside, as you kind of there's nothing really else there. But pushing aside one of the clothing options, there is a very large mithril bar.
Whoa, that's cool.
Like a gold ingot, except mithril.
Yeah, mithril ingot.
That's mithril.
That's fascinating.
Can I roll history if I mean, maybe I don't have to roll, but is it possible to find out if it's the same? Like, you got for currency in our day and age, we got fucking we got obviously dollars, and then before that we had fucking pennies and shit. Do I know that this would be still current currency and it's just old coins?
Yeah, roll history for me.
Okay. Nat 20.
Nat 20. A total of
Oh, 24.
24. All right. You very much know that it's a 1-for-1 carried down. The only difference between the gold that is being distributed, the pieces of coin that is distributed now to before, is essentially just the king on the front or as of right now, warlords, the currency that's still made by the same, hopefully, with the same sort of quality and percentage of actual material inside it. You could go. If anything, if you were to take these, bring them back, you could get them like at a better price,
All right.
all being as old as they are.
Do I know that this is? I don't want to get into semantics, but do I know that do the Zaibatsu controls the bank? Or do they control the banks?
Yeah, they control the banks, the business, the money.
Oh god, nah, I don't. Nah, I don't want that money. All good. I fuck. If I went there, they'd look at it and go, "Where'd you get this?" And I'd be like, yeah, I found it." Like it's gonna be fucking. It's just asking questions because I'm assuming there's no Zaibatsu logos or anything on the current currency, right?
No.
Okay, well, that's right.
The Zaibatsu don't put their stuff on the coinage.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
They get told to put on the coinage.
Right. Okay. Cool.
They are merely the minters.
Yeah.
I mean, they own within Arcosis all the sort of mine. They own everything.
Yeah. Big. Yeah. Zaibatsu a big farmer. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're big everything. But yeah, you like easy enough to go. This gold is still like these coinage is still the same as the coinage of now. And if anything, if you're able to find someone that deals with like old stuff, antiques, you may get more from it because of how old it is.
Right. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'll go to Wessel. I'll go. Wessel, do you mind if I have a few of those coins?
Hang on.
Actually, and because of that 24, you're able to find out who that king on the front is.
Sick. Who is the king on the front?
King Nobunaga Ren the Divine.
Nobunaga Ren the Ren.
Yeah.
The defiled.
The Divine.
Divine. Sorry. Is on the old coins. Cool.
He was the Arcosian king about 260, 270 years ago. He was probably one of the last great kings of Arcosis. He was kind of plagued by visions or like nightmares of chaos to come. And so he started to do his best to like ramp up Arcosian security, the Arcosian economy. He tried to do his best to stamp down the control that the Zaibatsu had within the Arcosian system as best as he could during his time period. He was the founder that you most definitely would be aware of the Yellow Lotus, which was a group of 100 of the best warriors, fighters, mages that Arcosis had to offer. These people were either found or trained to be part of the Yellow Lotus, and they were essentially sent out to deal with internal threats whose loyalty was only towards the king.
That's cool.
Not part of any clan. They could not be bought.
Custodians, baby.
But legends say that the Yellow Lotus was sent on one final mission. The whole 100 of them, and then they were never seen again.
Yeah, wow.
And not long after they disappeared, you are aware of that King Nobunaga Ren was assassinated.
Wow.
Nobunaga Ren.
Yes. And then after he died, most of the things that he tried to stop,
Fuck the NBN.
the guys that came after him either reverted what he tried to do,
Yeah.
or just flat out stopped doing it.
Damn. Ah, cool. I wait to see if my friend will give me money.
Okay. Is there any indication
Yep.
on how much these two would have seen me find?
It's up to you in regards to how much either you're showing them or You know,
Oh.
if you want to be like, oh yeah, here's only a couple of pieces, you find to do that, or this is what I only found. You know, I picture it like you've gone and done this, but they're not looking over your shoulder as you're doing it.
Remember,
Fuck.
I have the eyes that see without sight.
I'll split.
You can't hide from me.
Yeah,
I'll
what did
give
you
them
just put?
both.
What did you just put in your pocket? What did you just put in your pocket? What was that?
I'll give them both 10 gold each.
Thanks, bub.
10 gold
And-
each.
Yeah, and 5 platinum pieces each.
Thanks, bub.
Then 30 copper pieces each.
Thanks, bud.
Danzok comes up to you guys and he goes, I think someone's coming.
Is it the cat?
Unless the cat's wearing Metal Gear, I don't think so.
It definitely wasn't. All right.
Armored cat.
I go up to the door opposite Dunzock, and I kind of like see if I can quietly pull out the sword, and I've got it ready to go in case someone comes in.
Yeah.
I'm still looking through the chest, looking for like notes or pages. Mostly like trying to find like prayer books or religious texts or things like that. I am on a one-track mind right now.
In the chests, no, but in some of the bookshelves there are sort of like religious books. Some of them seem very, very basic. You find 1 or 2 books in regards to the chronicles of the 13 Messiahs, or the 13 Prophets, which were a group of individuals that came and spread throughout Arcosa, spreading the word of the Animal Lords. Each one representing a different animal lord, which sort of helped push the inclusion, acceptance, and then legality of worshipping the animal lords before, before that was sort of a thing. You don't. Most of it seems very standard after War in Heaven religious texts. Nothing sort of pertaining to whatever happened in the South. Nothing pertaining to whatever happened during the War in Heaven. The only bits and pieces of sort of information that are in these sort of vague religious texts containing to before the War in Heaven was that Gok Tengri came down with his parents, they created the Earth, they created us, shit was cash, War in Heaven, no more. Gok Tengri died. Now we've got the 8 Emperors. Shit's been sort of, it hasn't been great, but the 8 Emperors have been, we still got worship, we still got law. This is our way of life now.
And no mention of being in some sort of temple or in some sort of shrine.
Correct.
I'm looking for that damn nursery rhyme.
After a bit, there is the sound of marching. Metal footwork on stone, just echoing out throughout, and it gets louder. Then there is a flash of movement as running into the middle of this large open area where you guys were before you guys entered the sort of rooms as Danzok is waiting there behind the door, essentially, is the orange cat.
In the middle of us.
Not like in the middle, you're like out in where like this large, where like all the tables and chairs and stuff are. The cat's jumped up onto a table and is now just like looking around.
Right. See, not that I want to say I've got curiosity, but I would like to kind of go in there unnoticed. I turn to Dunzock and I say, fuck. Before I act on this,
Yes.
I don't really know, so I guess my answer is going to be I don't know. But I have a potion of visibility.
Yes.
Do I know if I take that, am I going to be quiet? Like, is my chainmail still going to fucking affect my Stealthiness.
You would know that taking a potion of invisibility would make you invisible. It doesn't negate sound.
Yeah. Is the marching loud enough?
You could, like, it sounds pretty loud. It's as it gets closer, it's more than 5 individuals.
Yep.
But apart from that, it's sort of hard to tell past a certain number as from what you could see before at the top before you came to it was like it's open top, just like a maze of walls. So it's sort of the sound sort of like bounces up and overlaps and escapes.
Yep. I'm never gonna use it. But I'm gonna talk to them. I'll be back in a sec. Put my sword in my thing. Now I'm gonna drink the potion of invisibility very, very quickly.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna roll stealth, and I want to go into the hallway and just see what I see.
Okay. Do that for me.
Go. All right. Do I roll disadvantage?
You're wearing heavy armor, yes.
I'm just gonna give Finch
Yeah,
a
I
very confused look.
Oh, honesty is the best policy. That will be a 1, bro.
A 1? Alright then.
-1.
You drink the potion, and then as soon as you try to step out, you knock a sort of bucket that's right outside the door, kicking it across.
Yeah.
The cat on top of the table, like, immediately turns. It, like, hisses up, and as it does so, a manish frill of flowers starts to blossom up and around.
Oh, that's cool.
These flowers don't appear to be of a material world sort of flower. You go, fuck, and then as you turn into out, and then turn into where the long hallway sort of comes down to where this area is, you see about 13 gold-plated dragon warrior-looking motherfuckers.
Oh, that's cool.
March their way down towards your location.
Dragonborn or dragons?
Dragon warrior. The armorers get up in like they've got like dragon-headed pauldrons.
Oh, that's cool.
But they look very old samurai.
Right. I can't see their faces. They've obviously got the
Correct.
helmets on. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Is the cat tracking me?
No.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna like stand in like against the walling, and I'm just gonna kind of watch them and see what they do.
The cat sort of looks around, like tries to scan, frills up a little bit, and then just sprays a sort of like acid out of its like mouth as it hisses, burns a table down. The 13 individuals like stop.
Yeah.
They pull out their weapons.
Yeah.
And they slowly push up
Towards our room.
towards like they're still down. They're making their way.
All right, cool. Yeah. But our group's not in immediate.
Danger.
Yeah,
Correct.
they're not.
Yes, that's what I said. They're
Oh,
not
yeah,
in,
yeah,
like.
sorry. Yeah. All right, cool. I just sit still and go. I'm just trying to like be as quiet as I can and just hope that it all passes.
Alright.
And if I
Duns up
can, I'd like to try and get like if they're going slowly, I just want to try and get a bit more of an like I guess a better look at their armor and if I can see underneath like like holes where they're fucking. I don't know how samurai armor is if it's like fully protected, but if it is, then ignore my request to try and see through the armor. But
Alright.
I want a better look.
Darnzock's going to push the door closed.
Yeah.
Until there's like a gap, so basically just to look out from.
Yeah.
He's going to look at Finch and Wessel in regards to what they might want to do. He goes, but like he asks in like a hushed whisper. The 13 samurai making their way up.
13.
In like yes. There is one at the front who is in a more sort of he looks to be the leader. He's more heavily geared up. Actually, I have a.
Where you take him? Yeah, the dogs are in the fucking.
Yeah.
The one at the front puts his two swords away. He grabs like a large flag that's on his back into his right hand. The flag itself is black,
Yeah.
but it has a symbol of the peach tree on it.
Really?
Yes. And then from his side, he grabs this crossbow. It's large like a it's no hand crossbow, but it looks more advanced technologically wise than what you have available if you were to go to a local shop and buy one.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, right.
That's what they look like.
That's cool.
Not much in regards to essentially like gaps in the armor, but the gap in regards to their face mask and their helmet are essentially all red. Easy to make out that a good guess would be that they would all be hobgoblin.
Yeah, okay, cool. Right, okay. Alright, cool. Is the cat still and walking? Like, is this walking with them or?
No, the cat is still in the middle
Yeah, still
of the area, turning around.
All right, cool. Oh man, we got Peachtree. Okay. Do I have any history of these people and this symbol? Like, is it ancient logo of the peach tree? Like, am I familiar with the iconography?
It is an old logo of the peach tree. It has only been used for these individuals.
Right. And I've no knowledge of what these individuals are.
As they get closer and closer, Golden Lotus.
Oh wow.
As they get closer, the armor matches the books that you read about. The symbol of the peach tree is close to, if not a one-for-one annotation compared to anything else that's been available.
Yeah.
Normally, the peach tree back home is essentially just one color.
Yeah.
The Golden Lotus peach tree are two, indicating not the peach tree itself, but the entwining parents of Gok Tengri.
That's cool. So are they different to the yellow lotus that I have in that book, or did you mean gold when you said yellow? Okay.
Thank
cool.
you.
So
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool. All right, cool. All right.
They get super close,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, the earth starts to shake.
Right.
The ground starts to quake. There is a sound of crumbling of stone, sound of cracking and breaking, not from around but up. As you look up to see where the sound is coming from, parts of the roof of this labyrinth are starting to fall and crash into the ground.
Can I use that as cover to get back in the room with the group?
You would, but as this sort of starts to happen, the cat scurries underneath one of the tables. The group of 13 samurai rush towards the area where the cat was.
Yeah.
But as sort of, I need everyone to roll Constitution, because as the roof is falling, in its place is inky void. And as the inky void sort of grows from the collapse of the roof, a very hard and loud screeching wind escapes.
Okay. Saving throw or check?
Saving throw.
Oh, failed. That's a 6.
And then I'm going to need Finch, I'll roll for Dunzock, and Wessel to roll dexterity saving throws as the room that they're in is about to be filled up with rocks from the roof.
I rolled 18.
Damn,
Hey.
the heart of Tengri doesn't give me a mad constitution. Alright. 11.
11 for the Constitution, and then a Dexterity saving
Oh,
throw
yes,
to escape the room.
Oh, get fucked. That's a 1. 8. Great. Fellas, we're gonna have a repeat of last session, apparently. Oh, hang on.
I can close that.
I feel like
Nah,
at every aspect of playing a monk, I come up in my head with a way better thing that a monk could be doing in this game. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm just gonna have to stick with that then. 9 from the monk.
Alright. The wind is so loud and piercing that
Oh, sorry, 12. Sorry, wrong one. Yeah, 12, not 9.
that Wessel and Finch, you are deafened from the noise of the wind that is now just blasting this entire area. Danzo passes. Ezekiel passes. But as Danzo tries to let out that the roofs is coming in on you, it's just all you're hearing is sort of the ringing tinnitus. Is the So he essentially just like grabs you both to pull you out of the room because he rolled a 26. But it's not fast enough, and Wessel and Finch, your legs get crushed under some rocks, and you take 6 bludgeoning damage.
6?
Yeah.
Oh no, dude. I'm gonna have to get rid of these 2 zeros.
This combination of everything happening, the loudness starts to dissipate as the roof of the labyrinth starts to reform itself, closing in. And as it does so, the blue lights that were around the opening that expired when the roof collapsed start to relight up as the roof starts to rejoin. As you look around and go to see Danzok, you notice that where Danzok would have been is a very large piece of roof.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Not rocks fall on them and you die. Oh.
Damn, Jamie Lannister.
Next to the rock, you can't hear it, but you see a cowering goblin dressed in very fine Zaibatsu clothing. He is wounded. He's got like a cut across him, but the thing that distinguishes him is the golden ring on his finger. You see that his mouth is moving for Finch and Wessel, but Ezekiel, you hear him cry out, "No, please! This was all just we wanted to do the business, and you couldn't, and then there's nothing." A curdling, exasperated sound escapes the throat of this goblinoid as a shifter pulls her short sword out of the goblin's throat.
Wow. I have a slight bit of happiness with that. Well, see you, cunt.
Danzok is nowhere to be seen. The 13 samurai are catching their breaths from running the distance. The orange cat is gone. Where Danzok would have been is a very large rock, and standing next to a dead Zaibatsu Golden Ring member is a female shifter. Weary, torn, bloodied, like she has just been fighting for a very long time.
No.
Or very intensely.
Yeah. I'm gonna run. Am I still invisible?
You are, yes.
Alright, I kind of forget that at the moment. I'm just going to run straight to where Danzak would be, and I'm going to start trying to move this fucking... I'm just going to give it a shot to like try and lift this this roof to get to him.
Alright. The roof feels very light.
Oh.
You essentially come up to it and start to push, and as you do so, it rolls over, but there's no sign of Danzok.
I say, yo, Danzok! Danzok! I'm just like, fucking start throwing fucking rubble and shit trying to find him.
There is no sign of Danzok.
I then yell out to, I go, Fitch! What's up?
I'll just.
I'm gonna
Wessel's
just start
holding his
sprinting trying to
ears
find him.
down like.
Who the hell is yelling now?
Danzok! I'm gonna run and try and find Wessel and Finch.
They're literally like close by. They're not that far off. They're like right
that's
there.
good.
You can.
I go to grab and I pick up Wessel and I go to pick up Finch.
My legs are crushed. You're just gonna move me around like that?
What? Well, okay, if you... I can hear that, I guess. I go to pick him up and I realize he's maybe hurt. And I go, are you alright, Finch?
No! No, I'm not alright.
Alright, well...
Roof came down and hit my legs!
Can you stand up?
You gotta stop manhandling me, man.
Well, I'm sorry, Finch is just a little stressed at the moment. Danzok's missing.
I'll focus on the eyes that see without sight. Wait! Oh, no, I've spent my free use. Oh, I've spent my free use, and I've eaten a little bit of damage from the other one, too. Ooh.
You have, but you have lots of room to wiggle in.
I do actually have lots of room to... Okay, I will go to use my sight beyond.
Yep.
And then notice that there is another person in the room.
Alright.
Kind of just staring at you all, wondering what the fuck is happening and where am I? And I point to the dead body and ask, are you with him?
I turn around and go, the Zaibatsu? God, no.
Who's talking?
Oh. Second. And I run to find Wessel real quick and I get myself as well.
You don't have to run far. The Wessel is right next to
Yeah,
Finch.
well, you know, I don't know. I don't know the distance in my head, man.
Is he still invisible?
Yes, he's still invisible. He hasn't really done anything to warrant escaping invisibility. He can stop. He can just like.
Oh, I don't know that. Okay, I just fucking I go. Spit out the last bit of the potion. I don't know. I dropped the invisibility. I know how this shit works, man. It's the first time taking the potion.
Any potion?
Well, pretty much. Yeah, I drop my invisibility and I get Wessel to make sure he's alright as well.
Do I sleep at night? Yeah?
No, I said, are you alright?
He's gonna like grab one of his ears and like pull it over his head like, as if he's trying to make his ear hole bigger. Is my hand right here? And I'll hold up my right hand.
Oh, good. Very good. And I turn back and I see the new person and I go, what is your name?
You can call me Sia.
Sia. And did you see my friend Danzok?
All I saw was this guy run into a cave and now I'm here.
Right.
All right. Well, make sure she doesn't kill me. I'm gonna check something. And I'm gonna use my sight beyond, and I'm gonna focus. I'll eat the 2d4, I believe it is, and I will focus on Danzok in the present. Ooh, maybe that's 2 1s.
And I approach Sia and Danzok's laying rest while he does that.
Finch, you close, concentrate, focus on Danzok. You see Danzok looking around, bewildered. He is in a forest. He is confused, and then he is immediately beset upon by wolves.
Oh, that's fine. They could double. How many wolves? Because any number you tell me, you could double it, and he would still be fine.
It's about like 4 or 5.
You could quad that, and he would still be
Yeah,
fine.
no, he'll be ripping them limb from
Yeah,
limb,
he'll be fine,
beating
he'll be
one up
fine.
with the other one. and-
He'll be wearing a 20-foot fucking wolf tooth chain necklace in fucking 5 minutes.
The forest doesn't look native to Arcosis. And then the vision ends.
Continent. Damn. Well, I don't know. I don't know how it's happened, but he's somewhere else.
Is he safe?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Well, he's being attacked, but
What?
just by wolves. He'll be fine.
Well, how many wolves?
I don't know that I could count high enough for you, Ezekiel, to tell you a number that would be unsafe for Danzok to fight.
Well, did you see how many wolves there were?
Yeah,
And that number was?
a number that is safe.
It's like 4?
How many wolves do you think you would fight before it, got a little bit hairy?
I'd probably say 7.
There you go. Right about 7, or less.
There is a cough, and then coming up to you is look like the leader of the troop of 13. Walking up with the banner in hand, takes his mask off to reveal very much a young-looking hobgoblin.
Is it the warlord?
No, it is not. Kitted out in a golded armor with like dragon sort of shoulder pauldrons. He goes, "Excuse me for the interruption, but I am Daimos Yi Suyin. Would you like to ask a couple of questions, if that's perfectly valid?"
Of course. Ask away.
How, may I ask, did you arrive within this labyrinth?
I tend to Finch.
We walked.
That only leaves a couple of locations. Did you come from Arcosis?
Like recently, or
Yes, recently. Is you say you walked, so that could be various things. That could either be you walked through a sort of unknown portal, and then you were transported here, or a form of a real connection.
No, we were physically here and then walked in.
Right. Please. Was it from the center?
Like of the city?
No, the holy near the peach tree.
No.
Um,
We came in through the warlord's palace.
Then you must have did King Nobunaga Ren send you down?
No, but his Shogun did?
He looks at you very confused.
King Nobunaga Ren, and I look to Finch to see if it's okay to tell him what I want to tell him.
I don't know what you want to tell him.
Fair point. I turn to the samurai and go, Nobunaga Ren was an old king.
Are you saying Nobunaka?
Is that what that's what I got written down? Nobunaga, that's what I've written down. Is that not what that is?
Have you written down? That's how you're saying it.
That's how I'm saying it. I say the king was was killed about 270 years ago.
He looks at you with an angry expression on his face and he goes, "No, it can't be. That's what you speak as lies. We haven't been here that long. 253 rotations.
Well, that's and I like think quick to see if I've got anything that can like show the time that I've got. What's on my scroll of pedigree? Is that date? Has that got a date on it?
Your what?
I've got a scroll,
scroll
of
of-
pedigree.
Yeah, it'll just be like related to your nobility background.
Yeah. Okay. I've got nothing.
like- To
Fuck.
prove that you are of noble blood. You're
Yeah.
a commoner.
Yeah.
You are of good breeding.
Yeah.
We've only been down here for 253 days.
Fuck. How do I fucking explain that? Well, we have warlords in Arcosis now.
What does that even mean?
Well, and I like look to the others. I'm like trying to like I don't know how to fucking I'm like I don't know how to explain it further than that. Time must be different down here.
Yeah, what year do you believe it is?
Give me 1 second. And he calls over one of his other samurai members. He pulls out a bag. Pulls out a scroll from the bag, opens it up, and it shows you the official order given by King Nobunaga Ren to execute this mission that they're on. It basically states, "Hey, go down the labyrinth, secure the labyrinth for future Arcosian use." Signed, King Nobunaga Ren, with a symbol of a twin-colored peach tree, and the date of 260 years ago.
Fuck, I don't have anything with a date on it. Did I get a did I get
Oh,
a
you
fine
might
from
need
the
I think you
guards
might
or
be
anything?
muted back.
Yeah, I forget I'm muted sometimes. Would I have like just a piece of paper, like an invoice or a receipt, just in my bag?
Yeah, you would for your financial transactions to get your inn started.
Right. They would have like a date on it too.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've got this invoice. It's pretty recent. You want to have a look?
He goes, "Yes, if that would be all right."
Here you are.
He looks at it and the puzzled expression on his face as he tries to read it, and then trying to correlate new Arcosian into old
Right.
Arcosian for himself, and he goes, and he hands it back and he goes, "Thank you."
Of course.
And then he looks distraught.
I would say before you wander down any sort of disparate mental pathway, your order was to secure this place for the future Arcosian use, and
Correct.
it is the future for you.
The problem is that we thought it has only been 253 days. It has been 253 years. When I started this expedition and mission, we were a group of 100. All of us were down here, and now there is not but 13 left. and the labyrinth is no yet closer to satisfaction.
We're down here looking for someone. Have you seen anyone else in the labyrinth?
Ah. We've seen lots of people. The labyrinth is its own master. Only made worse by the fact that the beacon within it has been tampered with, which is why we're getting these earthquakes.
Beacon, you say?
Is this the fucking back rooms?
Yes.
Dude, that's so
I pull out my book that I took and I say, without I guess explaining too much further, this is hard to read as it's a bit more ancient in the writing than the occasion that we're used to. If you can read it, maybe this will be some information to you. And I pass him the book.
He looks at it and goes, "Yeah, I can read this. No worries. But I probably won't need it. The beacon is the combined effort energy source that funds and allows the labyrinth to exist. It was a combined effort created between four different, very powerful beings as a form of, in the olden days, a peacetime trade deal.
Between who?
Us, members of the Sealy Court, members of the Unsealy Court, and those of the Shadowlands.
Right.
We're in a demiplane.
Oh, right.
Wait. So, Sia, right?
Yes.
Where do you think you are right now?
I was in a forest and ran into a cave in our coastal.
Her statement would stand reasonable because of the earthquakes and the tremors and the breakdown of the labyrinth. Sometimes the connection between this place and others interferes with natural progression. Places where there would be natural portals or gateways to, say, the Feywild, those the Shadowfell, are tampered with or disjointed, and so sometimes individuals end up here.
Right, and your master wished for you to tame
Correct.
this place.
We were sent down here to tame it, assert control over it, for it to be used as a base of operations in regards to what he believed a invasion of some sort from the Far Realm. These days, the only invasions we get are those from the chaotic nations of the elemental chaos.
When I say these days, I mean the year that we all come from. It's worries of the south and the dead crawling out of the holes.
Is the church not keeping watch and ward over the city anymore?
Not as well as it needs to. There are breaches.
Then I fear that what has happened to us is now happening to you as well.
Is your plan to find this beacon?
We will remain true to our goal and attempt to correct the beacon. But unfortunately, we will have to stay camped in this location until the cycle renews. The labyrinth is changing, and then when it does, we cannot be in it when it does. Never be seen again.
Would your goal be easier completed if we were with you?
I would say more the merrier. Only a couple of conditions. One, do not attempt to climb or go above the labyrinth walls. You will be killed nigh on immediately. by the Watchers.
Are these
Chris was
watches
just looking up at the walls, and
Yeah.
he's just. Oh.
Are these watches people or?
They are creatures created to safeguard some sort of espionage against planned attacks from above. If you go, essentially, you try to climb over the walls, fly above the labyrinth itself. None survive.
All right.
This is all just terrifying.
It is.
It was once a safer location, and thankfully, where we are now, we are in a fixed position. There are only a handful of fixed positions within the labyrinth. They do not change when the labyrinth changes. They are safe havens.
What was the second rule?
If a lady asks for your name in honeyed words, do not reply. Do not give her the information she seeks. For once you have given her your name, it is no longer yours to have.
Right.
And then he points to his other 12 samurai. We did not know at the time, and as such, we were unaware of what had befallen us. Their names are gone. Not even I know them. And so they are numbered 1 through 12.
And you're 13.
No. I still remember my name.
Well, that's good. May I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Your loyalty to the peach tree. Can I hear more about it?
I am not loyal to the peach tree. I am loyal to my king,
Of course.
who is now unfortunately passed.
If it helps, he is remembered as a great king. One says that he was the last great king.
Small, He was great.
Did everything right for Okosia and had the 100 golden lotus, which I'm guessing is yourself.
Correct. We are the last of the Golden Lotus.
Well, it's an honor to be in your presence. I do a little bow.
He bows as well.
Alright, so what should we do for now?
We wait until the labyrinth is shifted, and a cycle begins again.
Alright. And I kind of look around and I'm going to keep slowly searching for... If the conversation I feel like is finished, then I'm going to quickly search around for Danzlock. But I'd like to go to the Zaibatsu man that has just had a sword through his throat and take that ring.
No.
Fair coin.
He nods, bows, turns back towards his group, starts ordering his guys to clear tables, move them together, set up a sort of makeshift camp for them. The orange cat comes back into view. The flower-like mane that it had is now gone, back to a normal orange tabby appearance, and it's just wandering around.
I see that and I... Sorry, what's the go with the cat?
He has been our guide throughout the labyrinth. He is leading us somewhere. Unsure yet, but it has not been for naught. We have the lost members. We have saved some as well.
Well, that's good.
So we are hoping that wherever he is leading us is worth it.
Well, that's good. And I look towards the cat, and I nod my head to the cat, I guess.
The cat just kind of like looks away and just starts like...
Yeah, doing cat things. Yeah, that's cool.
Now in regards to the Zaibatsu guy, what are we doing? You gonna grab his ring?
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a... give me 1 second.
Pardon me.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
17.
Nice. You take 14 points of force damage as you pull the ring off, and then are immediately like smacked with a force of like something, and then knocked into a wall.
This just makes me want to kill him again.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck the Zaibatsu, man.
Am I still holding the ring, or?
Yeah, you've essentially, like, as you've pulled it off, you've just been smacked with it, smacking into a wall and slumping down.
Alright. Well, that's going into my bag.
I see that happen. I go, if I may ask, was it Sia?
Yes.
Yeah, let me just write that down in the my player group thing. Sia. What race are you?
Shifter.
Shift, of course, you did say that. Shifter. Becky. Alright. I said, I go, did the Zaibatsu person attack you?
I was running a business. They didn't agree. I didn't agree to join them, so they attacked.
You don't like the Zaibatsu?
I do not. They just killed my best friend.
My face drops, and I go, I am sorry to hear that, but... And I put a hand out for a handshake.
But oh my goodness.
She shakes it.
We are one of the same.
Wait a minute.
I hate the
Is she a
Zaibatsu also.
shopkeep?
She's a shopkeeper.
she's a Zaibatsu, we're sweet.
Oh no.
The Zaibatsu are terrible people. Very sorry to hear about your friend.
Thank you.
How did you get down here?
In a cave. They just chased this guy into a cave, and now I'm here.
Right, wow. Well, if it helps you, feel free to join with us. We're trying to get out as well, but we've got a bit of a mission that we need to complete.
Okay. Well, I gotta make money somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What did you sell in your shop?
I was a tavern keeper.
Right. Well, that's...
And that really piques your interest, because only Rakshasa run taverns.
Yeah. I was just about to ask, like, did your shop start with a 13? Oh, wow. And in what city?
It wasn't in a city. It was just like a travel
Right.
inn.
Odd. Did you have a lot of competing business?
Sorry?
Did you have a lot of competing business? Like, were you being sort of shoveled out by surrounding taverns?
I don't think there was a lot nearby. I think I just bought the land it was on before they could.
That's all right. Okay.
And they were not happy with that, unfortunately.
Did the Rakshasa ever interfere?
Honestly, it wasn't there long enough, so I don't know.
All right. Interesting to know. What was the name of the store? Of the tavern, sorry.
Hang on. I didn't think of one.
The Winking Skeever.
That's fine. You can tell later if you don't have a name. I just want to make sure it doesn't start with 13.
Night's Rest.
Night's Rest. Oh. Is it still standing?
No, it is most definitely not still standing.
Right. Well, feel free to camp up, I guess, or introduce yourself to my friends here. I'm gonna keep. Well, and I kind of leave a little bit. I go to Finch. I go, You're saying Darnzok was in a forest?
Yes. That's where I saw him.
How did he get there?
I'm guessing the same way that everyone else got here.
Hmm.
In a very weird and mysterious fashion.
Right. Should we try and clear a little bit of this up to create a small camp? I think we all are in need of a rest.
Yeah, sure. I could definitely use a rest.
As you say that, looking around, the Golden Lotus have pushed most of the tables and chairs to the side, sort of figured the fireplace that was essentially already there, but like made it bigger, and have now, with the captain deeming it that you are friendly and going to join him on whatever journey he is on, has made room for you guys to join them.
My only question would be that we are down here by request of the Ronin,
Ronin, yeah.
to slay her warlord. I only question how much time is passing while we are down here.
Oh, right. I honestly did not think of that.
What will Arcosis look like when we go back up?
Well,
Even
if-
now, as long as we've been down here, we've only been down here for maybe an hour.
Well, if we...
That might be a whole month.
Well, it probably is, because if he believe the... If, Sorry, give me a second. If Nobunaka believes that it's been 256 rotations, as in days, then... And it's been 260 years, and one day here is a year up there. And think of how quickly Arcosis has changed in the last, 2 months that we've been here? If that. We're going up there
Yes,
to
how many
a very
of
different
those
time.
stupid rituals have gone off while we've been down here?
Right. What of the broken trees and the who's to say? But how long is it going to take us to find the warlord? There must be some way for us to seek them out. Finch,
I will be able to see him with my sight,
I was about to ask that if you...
but it won't tell me. It's
In
not
the
going to give me a direction to
in
go.
the labyrinth is so hard to... You see everything.
And
from
it
the-
changes.
Right. Maybe
Maybe the cat knows.
the cat knows.
What cat?
The cat, the tabby cat.
What cat? I've
You
not
saw
seen
the
no
cat before.
I have not seen a cat.
Whoa, there's a cat. The one that Dunzok said there was a cat out there. Remember, I spoke to it. Well, I tried to speak to it.
Well, you left. I remember you leaving the room, and
Yeah.
that was the last I saw of either you or Danzok before the whole roof came in.
Well, that was in the first room, where the money was.
No, that was in the second room.
No, he asked about the cat in the first room.
I don't remember this.
Well, that's okay. You were quite focused by him. Well, I could ask the cat. It said it was guiding them, so maybe. It seemed to notice my speak when I spoke Goblinoid to it. I'll give that a shot. Thank you, Sia. And I go to look at the cat.
Alright. The cat at the moment is being patted by one of the Golden Lotus as he's taking his armor off, and you see that his armor looks like immaculate, well kept, but his body is heavily scarred.
Yeah, okay. I see him patting the cat, and I bow to him, and I gesture may I.
He nods back. You see that as he looks up, his mouth has been stitched shut.
Fuck. All right. What the fuck? It's stitched shut.
Yeah.
No lips.
Yeah.
Right. I don't ponder. I don't want to stare. But I look to the cat, and I say in Goblinoid, I said, "Do you speak Goblinoid, kitty cat?"
The cat kind of just looks at you. The Golden Lotus member stops patting it, goes to fix up a meal that is being handed out by the rest of them. And the cat looks at you, And you don't see its lips move, but you hear a voice in your mind. Not in Goblinoid, not in Common, but in Leonin.
Oh, that's cool.
He goes, "Why, yes, I do hear you."
Oh, all right. My name is Ezekiel.
I am quite aware who you are, Ezekiel, and the company that you keep.
How do you know that?
I have been told that you were coming.
Who told you?
I should say a friend of ours, mutual in agreement.
I don't have a lot of friends, so I'm assuming it's got to be someone.
That's so true.
You have no friends in Arcosis. That may be true. But you have plenty of friends back home.
All right, that's good. What are you guiding these Golden Lotus to?
It's been difficult, but I've been trying to guide them towards the beacon.
Is the beacon repairable?
Quite so, yes. As far as I'm aware of, no one has been able to reach the beacon since it's been damaged. Thankfully, the chaotic forces are unable to teleport there or warp there or however they move about. The elemental chaos is a fickle thing. I wish it didn't exist. The cat doesn't spit, but you hear it in your mind.
Yeah. Yes, so do I. Well, then I look forward to our journey to get to the beacon.
I'm aware that your mission is to find some sort of warlord, correct?
Yes. The warlord we're seeking is supposed to be in the labyrinth, but we have no idea where.
Yes, so we have not seen this individual that you might speak, but we might have heard of him.
Right. Well, that's good.
Sounds crazed and always indulged in combat, he seems, but he always manages to come out unscathed.
Most peculiar, am I right?
No.
Oh, well, I thought it was peculiar.
Well, that's okay. You couldn't think that.
Thank you. Have you been foretold anything else regarding our group?
Just you, Ezekiel. That in your final moments, you will stand by her side in the fields of Pelennor, where you will die sword in hand.
Well, that's good to hear. That's comforting, actually. Right. Well, I think some sleep is needed. Thank you. Can I have your name?
You don't hear anything back, and the cat just kind of like shrugs and walks away.
Oh. One and the same. Alright. I go back to Finch and to Sia. The cat didn't have a lot to say.
I imagine that's because it's a cat.
You're very right.
Wasn't expecting it to say anything. I'd hoped maybe it understood.
Well, I spoke to it a little bit, but it just seemed to respond with blank stares. I think it's time for a bit of shut-eye.
With that, you sort of like look around and you see that the blue lights that have been on the roof start to shift, and it looks like they shake, turning into like a dull purple color.
Right.
And as it sort of like waves, like swings across the roof, shifting from the blue to a dull purple, the lights, the torches and sort of chandeliers that are around this area start to dull themselves.
You're right.
upon looking around and noticing that the lights themselves are dimming. That out of all the rooms that you've been in, only 2 more haven't been visited.
Yeah.
One large sort of looking room, and the other one containing an anvil with an hourglass with a hammer smashing into it.
Do we want to sleep first or go in now?
To these rooms.
If at all.
Well, we could probably have a bit of time while the group is, while Lotus getting things ready. We could probably check them quickly.
Okay.
You lead the way, Wessel.
What?
Well, you're eager, aren't you? You've got quick feet.
And he's gonna limp to the next to the room with the hammer and hourglass. Missing half a fucking ear, and his legs are crushed and blood spewing out of his mouth. But sure, he'll take point. He
Sorry.
only almost died last
Wessel,
session. But
sorry,
alright.
Wessel. I didn't see that your heel was broken. Let me get the door for you. And I
Gee, thanks.
right. Don't know why there's attitude there. Let me open the door, and I open the door.
The door pushes open without ease, and you are immediately set upon the sight of just in front of you and to your right. These rooms don't have any roofs.
Yeah.
Only separated by the walls of the labyrinth itself. But a striking astrological machine on this large green carpet is twirling. It looks like a sundial, except it's not only does it have the sun, but it has 3 other sort of planet-like orbs floating around it.
What the fuck is that?
Close by that, on the opposite side of the wall, is an arcane-looking anvil that's looks like it's got like runes and arcane language carved into it itself. And on top of it are a set of small hourglass figures. They look like getting a better look as the door sort of opens and the light of the torches are sort of don't dim like the ones outside. These sort of hourglass figures sort of like twirl in midair by themselves, constantly turning. But they look like they're each individually attached to sort of like a chain, like a sort of necklace.
Okay.
To your left, looking into the room, is like a desk with paper and other like arcane contraptions and other hourglasses. 2 individual chests. Looking to the right is a couple of tables and bookshelves containing alchemical sets, potions of some kind or another, books.
Can I read some of the papers that are on that desk just to have an idea of what's in here?
Sure. You as you enter the room itself, if, like sort of physically, the sort of sundial machine stops turning, and as it does so, it starts to turn anti-clockwise than what it was when you just opened the door. Coming up to the table itself, with a bunch of paperwork, it looks like it's schematics and ideas and designs, paperwork detailing inventions. You see a list of what looks to be names, each name crossed out until the last, which has just been circled with a question mark. Paperwork of various degrees and kinds. You find a note that's just got the big, bold, like large words of "Don't give to Zaibatsu." stuff like that.
Says that this guy didn't like the Zobatsu either.
I'm
Fucking
beginning to like this
surprised.
labyrinth.
What's up with this thing? And not, I'm just gonna look at the sundial to everyone.
Is
Kind of went in reverse when we walked in.
it's a weird contraption. Is the necklace thing that's on there? Is that like can I take it?
Yeah, on the anvil, there looks to be besides these like 6 sort of necklaces. Looks like besides the fact that the hourglass isn't on the anvil itself, it's floating a little bit just above, just constantly turning in place. The chains that are connected to it that make it look like they might be necklaces are like they look to be silver. But if you want to try and grab one, you could.
I looked away, so I'm like, should we maybe grab one of these and see what it does?
Fuck it. He's just gonna grab one.
Oh.
If I drop dead,
Whoa! You know what they say? Curiosity killed the cat.
I'm a fucking rabbit.
It might kill me. I grab one with him.
Alright. I need you both to roll Constitution saving throws, please.
Fucking knew it. Please. Oh, a 17.
15.
Right. Wessel, as you both grab these sort of like flippant hourglass necklaces each, you are immediately attuned to this magic item. And upon doing so, as you look at each other, you start to get younger.
Oh, goody.
Do I get my hair back?
It looks like you have both maybe de-aged by about 3 years.
Oh wow.
Oh, I feel 7 years old again. I hated being 11.
I
Oh.
don't. The maths work out on that one there, Wessel.
I only said I feel 7.
All right. Well, I don't feel...
It's not like we know that we are specifically aged back 3 years. I mean, it's not like we got some mysterious voice telling us that.
Then there is a small interpersonal feedback, and your heart skips a singular beat.
I don't like the way this feels, to be honest with you.
What was that?
I don't feel... I don't know. I feel like this is the right decision.
If something bad happens, yeah.
Right. Well, maybe we'll be alright. I look at the contraption to see if anything changes. Like if it's like getting angry or like anything spins fast.
No, it's just continually spinning in reverse while you're inside this room.
Alright. Maybe we've done okay. Should we see another room? Quickly?
You hear a meow and look at the doorway and you see the orange cat looking inside curious, and then as it goes to enter, it hits the doorway itself.
Yeah.
And then immediately gets shocked, and then just jumped back by about 10 feet.
Ooh. Oh, you're right there, Kitty.
It just hisses.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you'd like to look at anything else in the room in regards to the papers or the books,
Yeah, I'll check
the
the papers
alchemical
out.
sets,
Yeah, I'll check the papers out.
uh,
See if it's
Finch
in any... Keep going,
and
sorry.
our newest companion, anything that you would also like to do in this room?
I'm mostly just sitting down collecting what the hell's happened to me.
That is entirely fair.
Processing.
I'm not proficient in alchemical shit, so I'm not gonna touch that stuff.
Although I will peruse at potions for Arnie.
All right. Finch.
I'm not gonna lie. If this is not that close to camp, I don't think I'm there. Is this just in one of the other rooms?
Yes. Like where the bed like sort of quarters were, it's on the opposite side of the like this large area. They're on the like this room is on the opposite side.
Hmm. Yeah, I think once the Golden Lotus set up the fucking fire, I have now entered into my brain that we are resting. I believe I am still just on 1 hit point, so I am really fucking keen to sit down.
No, you are not on 1 hit point.
Hit point.
You are at full.
I'm at full.
Correct.
All right.
Because of the process that you went through in regards to the diamond, you were brought back up to like you were basically like TF2 supercharged. It brought you back up to full, gave you all 10 hit points, and so the only thing that you've been taking damage on have been the 10 hit points.
Oh yes, you did say that, but then you said that I immediately dropped to 0, and Ezekiel had to get me back up,
Yeah.
which would be me at 1.
Yeah, that was my bad.
All good. Well, in that case, I am following. And I wish I had some sick like detect magic shit. I really like detect magic. That's a good spell. I'm sort of now the Danzok, where I'm just really good at punching stuff. Except instead of being a fighter and doing damage, I'm a monk and don't do that.
All right, so I'll need if you want to go through the papers, and I'll need everyone to roll investigation checks for me, please.
Actually,
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, natural 20.
Ah!
14.
Oh wait, can't I? Oh no, that's when people are lying.
21.
Yeah, I can't roll low. That's when people are lying. Thought it was from investigation. God damn it. 15.
All right. First, Wessel. A lot of these potions that you come and see connected, like next to the alchemical sets and these sort of bookshelves. A lot of them are not finished product. These all look to be like halfway through, still in practice, still in development, sort of alchemical potions. But connected to like next to one of the alchemical sets and a book that's sort of halfway open, halfway written, are about 7 potions of a sort of bronze, gold, copper swirling liquid. That looking at the potions and reading the books, they're a distilled alchemical ingredient of time. It looks to be a sort of their attempt to counteract the effects of any potential a lot in regards to the beacon is what keeps this place in check, because this labyrinth is connected to the lowest level of pandemonium. And that if there was ever a breach in the system connected to pandemonium, the winds of that lowest level are what affects the flow of time.
Right.
I'm gonna grab the book and I'm gonna run around to everyone else. Oh, jeez. Look.
It's a book.
Looking through, it appears that when what this researcher was able to pretty much find out over time, that there was the war in heaven created a dark age for a lot of things that were created before it. This labyrinth being one of them. When with the majority of factions outside the material world were still on friendly terms. Then the war in heaven happened. Not a good time for anybody. And then as the labyrinth became a casualty of that sort of event. And so there was a very much a dark period in time where the people that were in the labyrinth when the war in heaven kicked off couldn't get out. No one could get in, and as such, the resources required to keep up the strength of the beacon weren't available. And so, over time, when people started to trickle back in to suss out what's happening, or like, oh, I'm here, what's going on? This sort of archaeologist / alchemicus was like, oh, I gotta sort of counteract this. You can see in his notes over time that he has been affected by the winds of this pandemonium cracking through the labyrinth itself. There are notes that you can see of conversations he's had with people who have found themselves within the labyrinth, and as such, he was able to figure out that time is moving ahead much faster in the outside world than it is inside. And so his essential dying moments are creating these 6 potions.
That's cool. It's all very important stuff.
The only thing that is stated is that he is unsure if it works. Because the people that leave the labyrinth aren't able to come back to tell him if it worked.
Yeah.
So this guy's like definitely gone, like either dead or left.
Correct.
Okay, so we're not fucking this guy over by taking the shit.
No.
Looking through the room, it now looks like it's not just him. This individual has worked on the research of others that have came before him, to figure out what is happening, what is going on, what is the labyrinth itself. The fact that the labyrinth, there are fixed points in the labyrinth designated to certain factions' connections to their worlds. This area has the strongest connection to the material world and Arcosis.
Does it have a map of it?
Um,
Or anything that I could give?
you can see that there have been attempts to create a map, but because of how the labyrinth is now working, it's hard to. The fixed points have been found, but the pathway to get to these fixed points are constantly changing. No singular path is the same ever again once a new cycle has begun.
Yeah. Can I take the writings of the map, or just the confirmation of that?
It doesn't seem like anything taken from this room triggers a negative effect.
Then I will take the paperwork that sets what those fixed points are and what they look like.
Apart from that, apart from the 6 potions that are now left of this person's finished research and experimentation, none of the other potions are usable in any sort of manner.
Should we take the usable ones?
The usable ones are the 6 that are that are there. In Puri's words, they should counteract the effect of the labyrinth itself. But he doesn't know if it's a permanent thing, if it's a timed thing, if it actually works. This is the best that this individual has come up with in the last 300-400 years.
Yeah.
I'll bag those potions, and I'll probably, if possible, grab an alchemical set as well for the fuck of it.
Yeah, you're able to grab a singular alchemical set.
That might come in handy.
The only thing you were able to find underneath some of the papers a schematics for the hourglass necklaces.
Huh.
And what they do. The necklaces dampen the effects of a person being affected by anything of time related. They will pull you back physically, mortally, 3 years.
Oh, that's cool.
The downside is that it creates a strain on your heart.
Right, that's what we felt.
If wearers are affected by matters that affect their heart rate, notes detailing being feared or being terrored, there is a chance for you to drop dead on the spot.
Does it mention if it's the same? Like, I read that, and then I think on it. So, for example, me doing the daunting roar, where I am kicking up my adrenaline, is that going to cause a negative effect on my heart as well?
Research is unsure in regards to if it says that if people cause spells that inflict fear on others, if they drop dead, or if it's like a personalized thing. Like if I cause the fear, am I affected? Research doesn't know. Yeah. Only that they have for sure seen that the hourglasses work to bring you back physically 3 years and to dampen the effects of spells like stop time.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take mine off.
You attempt to take yours off and you can't.
Oh. Like it physically just doesn't want to come off my neck?
It you go to it feels light and it moves around when you move around, and as soon as you attempt to lift it up, it is as heavy as it has ever been. And it's only heavy when you attempt to take it off.
Yeah, wow. Oi! It's fine, mate. Just shut your butt. That's
but you see,
the guy at the door.
Yep. Apart from the 2 have been taken, there are 4 other hourglass necklaces left on the anvil, but one of them is cracked, and it is constantly leaking out sand. The sand piles up and then falls off the anvil and then kind of disappears into nothingness.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Dogs. And lady! Oh, Odie! Wait, is it Odie? Yeah, Odie! Odie! Lady! Fuck it hell.
Yeah, I don't think you can hear you, Matt.
I must have muted the sound as well. Oh, or maybe Mikey's got the headset on, I didn't see.
Beck.
Yo.
Coming up to you is the commander of the Yellow Lotus, and he goes, I see that you're deep in thought. I'd like to let you know that it's not a rarity. You wouldn't be the first that has wound themselves up in a situation like this.
Yeah, that seems pretty apparent. It's still no easier to grasp that it's happened.
Um, I guess the only comfort that I can provide in the way of words in this situation is that you are within safekeeping.
Thank you. She's kind of just sitting there, making sure the sword is clean and polishing it.
He looks at the sword and he looks at you and he goes, "It's not originally yours, is it?"
No, no, it was my friend's, and well, I suppose it's not his anymore.
I understand.
Sorry.
Keeping it clean and remembering their name and who they were as a person is what keeps their memories alive. And they live as long as we remember them.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Know that the Tengris watch over all, safe within their blessing. He puts a hand on your shoulder, sort of gives it a like a slight rub, and goes back to his group.
And she'll just continue what she's done.
Are we still in that main room, or are we going to the new room?
As far as I'm aware, if you guys are still inside that room, there are 4 other necklaces left on the anvil. One of them is broken. And the 2 chests haven't been touched yet.
All right, cool.
Go for one of the chests.
You can take both chests. I'm not gonna touch them anymore. This thing is around my neck is stuck around my neck.
I'm gonna test taking mine off as well.
You attempt to take it off, and it's just it feels like it just gains more weight than the strength you have required to pull it off.
Oh dear. Well, I hope this doesn't bite me in the chest later on.
In regards to the chests, they are unlocked and easily openable. Inside is a myriad of artistic-like artifacts. Statues and idols and imagery of Gok Tengri and his parents.
Huh.
Make an investigation check for me.
Oh fuck. 9.
That's about it. What you can find looks like as deep as it goes is just full of statuesque figures. From what you're able to like ascertain throughout, you're able to 4 sort of like pique your interest the most. Looks like 2 100 gold worth statues of Gok Tengri, sort of like in a thinking pose, and 2 100 silver statues of Gok Tengri's parents in like a holding hands embrace.
This is tempting. But I can't help but feel like these will fuck us over later on.
Do you think they're cursed?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
This is a fucking labyrinth. Who knows?
Mm.
Yeah, Whistle, leave them behind.
All right.
His priority is getting out alive. He's a greedy cunt, but he's not gonna let himself die.
No worries. So essentially, you leave the room with a research book, a alchemical set, and 6 potions that will counteract the effects of the rotation of time.
That's cool.
What happens if we put on the rest of the necklaces?
You just double up.
Let me check Whistle's age. Oh
Dude,
wow,
it's-
Whistle was 2 years old. I thought he was 10. He's actually 5, and now he's been put back 3 years. He is 2 years old.
If we put on another one, dude, we're gonna lose. We're gonna gain back time. We're gonna lose like our hearts.
Dude,
gonna
what
fucking
if
be
Whistle
fragile.
puts on the rest of them and he vanishes and just ascends as some kind of fucking weird time abomination or some
I
shit?
don't think it'll. Well, I don't know how that'd work. But you put it on, bro. You're gonna have it for life. You can't get that shit off your neck.
Will he just like? Nah, I'm not gonna go there. That's disgusting. Actually, nah. Just puts it on and suddenly there's just a splat on the floor.
Good.
Nah,
I would
he's
put it
not.
on
He's
if
not even.
not for the fear of like my heart will get adrenaline and I just fucking keel over and die because I've got fucking 4 necklaces on.
Bro, Weston will just cease to exist.
Yeah. Give it a shot.
Nah, fuck that. Hey, can we save point and try?
This ain't Baldur's
Nah,
Gate.
I'm just gonna leave it there. I think I'll let other people know that these are there, but I'm not touching them.
All right. And there's one final room left.
Yeah, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Door is unlocked and openable like all the others, and it looks to be just a very large, more privatized quarters. One large singular bed, walls covered in bookshelves, a fireplace that's on, some desks with either paperwork or tools and utilities. The paperwork mainly is in regards to a deal that was meant to take place between an individual named Rikashin, a elementalist of fire, and Jehovah, an elementalist of water.
Okay, wow.
The deal, it looks like a transfer of adamantine, and the individual was meant to be the middle person to sanctify the trade between the two.
You're right.
Looks like it was meant to be about 50 kilos of adamantine.
That's heaps.
Apart from that, looks pretty uneventful.
Okay.
Maybe this room would be better than sleeping out in the corridor.
Well, I for one would like to sleep next to the Lotus. I think I would like that.
Oh, I mean, bring them in here.
Well, they've already set up camp. I'm not gonna get them to redo it.
Oh,
It's one bed.
good point.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant more the fireplace.
Oh right. Well, we could talk to them, I guess, but I think it's time for me to sleep now.
Yeah, no, I don't want to fuck them around.
Well, good night, Wessel, Finch, and Sia. I will see you all in the morning.
Alright.
Good
And I head
night.
over to the Lotus, and I sleep in the little section they've given us.
Alright. What's everybody else doing? Doing the same?
Yeah, Whistle is fucked.
It's been a bloody long day, mate. I believe we are on session 3, and we since our last rest.
Yeah, it'd be along those lines. With that being the case, the Golden Lotus keep watch. And the last thing you see, Finch, before you close your eyes, is an orange cat staring at you.
There's the cat.
Uh, but it is not how Ezekiel described as an orange tabby. This cat is light green and purple. It's got a manic fur of petals of a flower that you've never seen but are familiar with. It's very fey-like in nature. And you will have a long rest.
Hell yeah. Let me get my shit back.
All my key is back, which is great because I'm not gonna lie, I actually have only just started keeping track of how much key I currently have instead of how much key I can have at maximum.
You all are woken up slowly by the leader of the 13, the Golden Lotus. You're all long rested.
Beautiful.
And then he, after individually waking you all up, he goes back to his small group and helps them sort of pack all their gear up.
I'm gonna go help him as well.
All right. You see that all the area has been relit up again. All the torches, and lanterns, and the fireplace, and the campfire is back up to like full volume of light. The ceiling, the lights are back to a blue. Every now and then, it looks like they kind of shimmer and move in a certain spot. One of the 13 samurai comes up to you, Ezekiel, and holds out a bag, like a leather bag.
Nice. What's in here?
He takes his mouth guard off, and you see he also has his mouth sewn shut.
Yeah, wow, okay. I go, oh, alright. Thank you. And I take the bag. And I
The bag feels a little bit heavy.
hold it from the bottom, and I look inside.
It contains 3 days worth of rations.
Ah.
And 2 healing potions.
Hey! Thank you very much.
He just nods, put his mouth guard back on, and goes back to his group.
3 days of rations. And 2 healing potions. Potion of healing. 2. Beautiful. That's very nice of him.
The leader of the 13 comes up to you guys and he goes, so let's begin again. So we talk about a bit before we head out.
Right.
In regards to whatever you guys are up to, what we're up to, and if we can either help each other or see if we can help you guys get back to where you're from.
That'd be lovely.
I am going to spend my free use of Sight Beyond.
Yep.
And I'm going to look for the Warlord at present.
All right.
And I mean, I am being like specific. I'm pretty sure we don't know his name. I can't
Yeah.
remember if the Ronin lady said his name,
I
but
think it's
I
in
know that the power doesn't need to be that specific. So I can just say the Warlord of, and then I don't have. I usually have the fucking map up, but I don't have it up.
Warlords and Ronin. Let me have a look here. Because we definitely wouldn't know the name.
The warlords of the warlord of Tianjin. Well, no, that's the fucking city. He's warlord of the region. Where the fuck's the region? Is the region also Tianjin? No, it's fucking
Which province is it?
Kovskull.
Kovskull is
The warlord of Kovskull. Well, I don't know.
Zong Divine.
I don't know his name.
Would we know it's Zong?
Kovskull.
Yeah, Zong Divine is his name.
You guys have been told before.
Yeah.
Then yeah, that's what I say.
Sweet. You kick in the eyes, and immediately your vision leaves your body, flies up, and it like as if you're moving a drone. It just up. You then see like the group that you were in like now, and then it just flies across the labyrinth.
Damn, do I see the watches?
You see creatures of some kind clambering over the top of the labyrinth in certain zones. 15 to 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, looking like mounds of torsoic flesh merged together in chunks, carried by no legs to see, but a multitude of arms, like a fucked up looking millipede sort of thing, just like clambering along the rooftops of the labyrinth. But thanks to your godlike vision, they're invisible.
Right.
Or you're able to tell that they are invisible. It speeds across until it feels like it's halfway over the labyrinth itself, where this sort of spire is located that reaches up, that almost touches the roof itself. It drops down directly behind into a third-person mode of this royal-looking hobgoblin. And it's a picture of him ripping apart, like ripping in half, a humanoid figure, and he is mad. Like, he's laughing and screaming. He is off his rocks as he is physically tearing his way through this group of... You're unsure. The insignia of what they're wearing is not one that you are familiar with. They look like they are sort of like a mountain folk. They're wearing leathers and like dark irons. The sort of standoutish feature is turning and leaving the base of this spire is this sort of oldish looking human figure hunched over with a large humpback with a staff. He looks very sickly, very pale, very plagued. Before the vision ends, he stamps the staff in the ground. Swirls of like sickly greens and purples appear on the ground, and then stepping like clawing their way out are figures of green sickness, humanoids with a singular eye in the middle, like horns that come out of their head, covered in pusses and boils and forms of disease that you have never seen before, wielding swords that sort of dribble with sickness. And that's where the vision ends.
That's fucking cool.
All right. Well, I'm glad the vision showed me what direction. And I'm sure if he keeps running into people, he won't be too hard to track from that spot if he moves away from that area. But yeah, I'll sort of come to again and I know where he is.
Do you?
Yes, the vision was different down here. It took my consciousness to him, so I know what direction we need to go in.
Well, that's good. Shall we head off now?
I'll turn to the Golden Lotus guy though, and I'll be like, "We are going to head in this direction. Is that on the way for you also, or
He looks at you with this information, like receiving this information, and then he looks down at the cat, and the cat nods. And he goes, "Yes, it's on the way."
All right, we will head off then, if everyone is ready.
If you don't mind, we'll take point, if that's okay.
Perfectly fine.
And with that, he barks some orders at his fellow samurai as they're finishing putting away all their gear. The cat, though looking like an orange tabby to everybody else, to Finch looks like a not how Ezekiel describes. The claws kind of like jut out into like wooden vines that, as it walks, it sort of like they swirl with the ground itself. It looks at you, Finch, with like a very strange and puzzled look, as if like roll an investigation check for me. Not investigation. What's the one I'm looking for?
Insight?
Insight. Thank you.
Alright,
More
that's
in
a
the
good
eyes.
roll. But you know what? Let's see. Does Shrewd Investigator let me do insight? Ah! That's always the one it doesn't let me do. Fuck, I always think Intimidation, Investigation. No, Insight. Yes, there it is. What the hell? I thought it was just
Also,
4. It's 5. Insight, Intimidation, Investigation.
you aren't poisoned anymore.
Yes. Thank you. And my Shrewd Investigator is back up to full. Thank God. And, oh, you know what? I rolled a good roll. Maybe I won't do that. Insight is... Oh, Insight's fucking huge. Alright. I'll leave it as it is then. 24.
24. It is looking at you with... You look at its facial expressions as it's unable to hide from you the thoughts that are crossing its face. Curiosity. Like, how do you know where to go? How are you able to figure that out? Then it kind of sort of like you see that it sees your eyes fully, really now. And then there's a cross of like, oh shit, and then a case of fear. Like, it doesn't want you to know where it's going.
Okay. Noted. But no physical reaction to that information.
No worries. And with that, the group is corralled together by the member of the Golden Lotus, all that is left. And start to leave. Following the path as best as they can in regards to the direction that Finch has stated. Just due to the very nature of the labyrinth itself, it's so windy and twisted. Sometimes the group has to double back after reaching a sort of fake dead end. Roll perception checks for me, please. Everybody.
I would have got a 20.
That's a 4 with a natural 1.
Oh, rough. I can't see!
My perception is just a dirty 20.
you guys are able to have the ability to help the group or help the lead. Every now and then, when it feels like it's a dead path, it's essentially just like an illusioned, especially you, Finch, an illusioned wall that has been created by the labyrinth to create a fake dead end. You guys are able to reach a turning through another T intersection going left. You guys sort of enter a new standing point within the labyrinth. Another small sort of standing area. There's sort of the pathway sort of winds around in a sort of crescent moon that's sort of hooked together. But there are a number of different rooms here. But you see sprayed around are a trail of destruction. There are body parts of individuals strewn about, blood along the walls. The individuals from pieces that you can see, for you, Finch, they look like the ones from The Vision in regards to what they're wearing. But the body parts look bubonic, pussy,
I won't be sick.
sick,
Infected. Well, I'll point out the fake walls at least. I don't know how close I want to get to these fucking bodies, though. Although, you know, I have some newfound virility, you know.
That is true.
Nah, I reckon I can just deduce that they got infected from getting killed by that guy. I'm good to leave it there, you know. I'm not gonna go near the thing. Yeah, I'll just show everyone else the fake walls.
No worries. The guard of the 13 goes, asks if it'd be okay if we could just check out the room, see if there's not so much survivors, but a case of like, if anybody else that might be here.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed that without sort of saying it. But I won't physically enter the room first, but because I can see through it, I can see like the immediate condition of the room. So if there's like a guy like there, like like obviously I'm gonna say, hey, that's a fake wall. Also, when you walk in there, immediately swing your sword. So yeah, I'm going to check the condition of the room before I tell them to walk through. You know, like traps or like I'm not gonna just have them like, oh, that's a fake wall, all right, and then they just walk through without knowing what the fuck's on the other side. I will let them know if there's like a turn or literally the immediate details that I can see of the room, like, oh, it's empty, oh, there's a left and a right corner, there's only a left corner, there's a man there, there's a chest there, shit like that.
The fake wall leads into a small, it's sort of like, from where the pathways have been, the fake wall leads to a thinner hallway, which then sort of open up to a temple.
Here in my temple. Okay.
But you don't see anybody.
That's okay. I will just merely convey to them what I see, and then tell them that they have the lead.
They acknowledge. He says thank you, and then they sort of like back up and like spec up stuff. They just sort of like hand on the shoulder one at a time, just going through past the wall into this sort of temple.
I want to have a. I'll also while they're going through, I just want to just because of the shape of this room, I want to do just a quick double check of like corners and far ends of the room and shit. Just inspect the room one more time before we leave. Because these guys are heading for the beacon. We're looking for a guy. I just want to make sure he wasn't here before we move on. Or well, he was here, but make sure that he isn't just like in the corner, like.
Sure. Roll a perception check for me.
Perception. No, we won't shrewd that one. That's just a 19.
19. In regards to no, it looks like you guys are the first people to be in this area besides the carnage from before. Whoever killed those guys, it wouldn't be hard to find for a small bit, as he's leaving footprints of blood, not from himself but from the people around him as he leaves. But it looks like, in regards to you finding this fake wall, you're the first.
Where do those footprints go?
They continue along down another path. You hear a cry back that it's safe, and that it's good to come into the temple.
All right, I catch up.
All right. I safe to guess that the group follow with them. The temple is. It's strange to be in a temple with no roof. Everything has to be on display with the room that it's been given. Normally, the roofs are where the sort of more reverence is held, looking up to the heavens, looking up to where the deities belong. But because there is no roof here, it has to be on the walls. It has to be on the floor. The iconography of the seats, of the large podium at the very end of this sort of temple that looks like it's got two rooms situated beside it that may contain who knows what, as the Yellow Lotus go up to the rooms to clear them themselves. There are bookshelves on the left and right hand side of this temple, but apart from one shelf in particular, the rest hold no books. The iconography of this temple at first glance, it's a pantheon of gods, of individuals, of beings of power. But on that second glance, there are noticeable figures within it. The prime being at the head of the first sort of pantheon of 7, front and center, in all his glowing glory, is Goktengri. The others are hard to pick out and look. None of them are from what you've seen or what you may have heard of. These figures look elvish in nature, but none of them sort of correlate to any sort of faint memory in regards to any of the Peruvian Republic's deities. Elvish in nature, but not elvish. Fey-like. It seems that in this iconography, Goktengri, though ahead of the 7, he's close to his second. He has an arm wrapped around her waist, and another arm held in a sort of cradle, but there's nothing there to be held.
That's very cool.
The other members of this sort of strange pantheon are sort of indistinguishable from one another. They all have the same sort of sharp, thin facial features. Hard to tell male, female iconography of individual, except for the one that Goktengri has wrapped around on the waist. Very beautiful. Very female-like. But unlike the other members of this apparent group, she's not looking ahead in a stern expression. She's looking to her left, with a warm smile on her face.
Interesting.
The Yellow Lotus, the Golden Lotus, call out clear as they open the other and search the other two rooms.
Is she looking at like another deity or?
Is looking at Goktengri.
He was just that guy.
He is the guy.
The leader of the Yellow Lotus comes out, holding a bunch of books, and he goes, "Not much is in there besides where the priests of this temple might have stayed. Some of these books, it's about it, really."
Well, that's good. No traces of beings being here before us?
No,
Oh, good.
the doors were locked. We pried them open.
Good to know.
So the books were they from the bookshelf?
There is one singular bookshelf that has a couple of books on it, but he has brought out six books of varying sizes from the left room that he had just left.
What's the importance of these books?
He shrugs. No idea, but I've never seen them before. They've got iconography of the Fae on them.
I take the top book and I give it. I can see if I can read the cover.
You can't read the words, but the iconography on the backdrop of this hardcover book is that of a growing sapling of a tree.
Right.
And then kneeling at this tree are two individuals that either look like they're praying to it or trying to like help it grow.
Okay.
Be right back.
Oh, good.
Cool. I'm gonna try and read a little bit of it.
What are your languages that you can read again?
I can read in Common, Leonin, and Goblin.
Yeah, you are unable to read.
Okay. I can't read it. Yeah, it's not in a language I can understand.
I don't know that I can really read much. Mm.
Yeah, pick it up. I grab it again. I want to grab it again. I go to hand it down to Finch.
What's this?
Oh, I can't read it. But he said it looks fayish, and the cover you can see a little tree and two people kneeling to it.
Oh yes.
Can you read this?
I'll take it and I'll open up to the first page.
it is the pages are very light, like it's sort of like a normal page book, but these are feel much lighter. They almost feel like at any point they might tear from the book itself.
Damn, literally like Bible pages.
The pages have been marked like that of the front, but a quick through of the book itself, each page is at a different stage of two people at a tree that is growing. Unfortunately, unless you know Sylvan, you're unable to read the book.
I literally know one less language than Ezekiel does. Oh well, Thieves' Cant doesn't really count, but yeah, I only know Common and Goblin.
Can't read it.
The language is Elvish. You can make out that it looks Elvish, but there's something more going on, so it's not Elvish itself.
Mm.
But when you look at and feel like the weight of the paper itself, you see that one of the 13 Samurai on the podium, you see him grab a book from it, a tome, much thicker, much older looking, with a leather that looks like bark from a tree.
Right. I go up to that 13th member.
He looks at you and he nods and goes to hand you the book.
I try and check out the book.
You take it off him, and it does. It feels like a tree, bark, wood. No iconography on top, but when you open it,
Yeah.
it smells so good, so beautiful.
Right.
But the language looks Elvish, but it's not.
Yeah.
Looks goblinoid, but it's not. A strange fuse of the two.
Right.
With a little bit more on top. You can see every now and then, that vaguely looks like a letter in Goblinoid. That vaguely looks like a letter that might be Elvish. But it's... When you find ones that do sort of correlate, you can then figure out that that's old Arcosian.
Yeah.
And if these ones remind me of Elvish, but they're not, they might be old Elvish. Or maybe even Sylvan.
I don't think I've got any spells that let me read old shit.
But the pages are so light that it's hard to... You feel like at every turn you might
Tear it.
tear it out.
Yeah, okay.
The pages themselves are old, sort of like coffee-stained coloring.
Yeah.
But unlike the book that Finch now has, where it looks like it's a continual aging of two people next to a tree that's growing. It's two individuals holding a child.
Right. There you go. His parents. Okay. I need to take this to someone who can read it. I'd like to keep that book, please.
Yeah.
In my bag it goes.
This temple is very old. If what the Lotus says, it's might have been around since before the war in heaven.
Yeah.
But nowhere in your studies at the college made mention of any sort of pantheon that Goktengri might be involved in.
Yeah, like he was just him, right?
It was just Goktengri,
Yeah.
his parents, and then he died, and then there was the Eight Emperors.
No history of Goktengri's possible wife.
There are rumors that he had a wife.
Yeah.
There are even... Roll history check.
I will. I'd love to do that. Thank you. That would be a...
Roll with advantage, please.
Alright, so it was a 15. Oh! Dirty 20.
It seemed like there was... Like, your previous knowledge of when you were going through your religious training, being a paladin, being in the religious sect for the Queen of Cats, you were given a sort of knowledge in regards to what the outside world would be like. And then going into Archosis, doing the 4 years at the college,
Yeah.
a case of going, oh, this is what I was taught before, this is what they're teaching now. Goktengri, and then the Eight Emperors were in heaven, he had his parents, they created the tree, and then just a case of, he had a wife. But it's not in the mandated curriculum that the college did.
Yeah.
It's underneath. And then further underneath that are rumors and hints of a child that Goktengri had with this woman, who may or may not have been a Fey Queen.
Can I determine that from this
Mhm.
book, or where I see the two parents holding a child, is there any like, any like physical thing? Like, can I assume if the child is Goktengri, or can I assume that if one of the people holding this child is Goktengri?
One of the figures, without sort of colouring, it would be a correct guess to assume that one of these figures holding this child is Goktengri.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Wow. And the statues that are in this temple of Goktengri and his followers, they're like life size?
One of
relative
them
to us?
is
Okay.
sort of like they're like the largest one looks to be built with the proportions of the makers of that statue.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
None of them are sort of look like to be in regards to what he might have been in life.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's all the same. Goktengri at the head of what looks to be a group of 7, arm wrapped around a waist of one female-looking Fey individual, with his left hand cradling nothing.
So he would have had a statue of a baby in his hand. Right. Can I search a room to see if the statue's like fallen off or something?
Yeah, make an investigation check for me.
Investigation +2, 17.
17.
Yeah.
You can see coming up to these statues, cracks, breaks. He was holding a child
Yeah.
in every single depiction of him in this sort of group of 7. But they're all gone.
Wow. And no traces of them. I can't
Not that you
find.
can see.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Shit. I go to the Lotus Commander.
Yep.
And I say, an odd question for you. In all your knowledge of Goktendri, was there anything about him having a child?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, it would be crazy not to think that he had a child.
Yeah.
Stories say that he was handsome, that the other always smirked and flirted with the other nation's deities.
Yeah.
I did hear overhear King Nobunaga make mention every now and then that Goktengri's wife is out there, but in regards to any sort of source of or validity to that, I am unsure of.
Well, the only reason I ask is, obviously, I feel here, looking at these statues, that the child was taken from his arms, and of all, I guess, physical evidence of him having a child is gone. And then during my mandatory training in Narcosis, there is no mention that he grew up and then died. All this, some followers, a wife, a child, none of that is known in my time. And I just wasn't sure if it was the same, say, 200 years ago.
It was close to the same for us. Like Goktengri came to the material world with his parents. They created us. They created Arcosis. Besides what I have heard from my king in regards to potential wife, it's not in any of the books that I read or went out of my way to read. But then again, I did not pay much attention to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
In regards to information that if he had a wife, or dare say a child, that information would only be known about at the center.
Interesting. Something to question when we get back.
But with a place as religious as this, from before however long, me and my brothers will take a quick moment to pray.
Of course.
If that is okay with you before we set off again.
Never need a question of that.
Then him and his other samurai take seats within some of the chairs and quietly pray.
God damn, I wish I could read some of these books.
I know, man.
There is a quiet meow. You turn, Finch. You see this fade-like cat staring up at the largest statue of Goktengri and his seven. You see him paw at the fourth and fifth member of the group, and you see him cry. And then he runs off.
Okay. Hmm. I'm gonna do Sight Beyond again.
Yep.
This might lead to nothing, but I'm gonna use Sight Beyond. I am going to think of Frigrid, the little girl that I saw in that vision. I'm going to think of her past, and I want to. I'm trying to see if I can find a place where she ever wrote her own name.
Right.
It's from fucking ages ago, so that may not happen. This may lead to nothing. But if I can physically see what her written name looks like, it doesn't matter if I can't fucking read. I've just got to play, does the shape fit into the shape hole, you know?
You looking at the statue where the large seven, where Gok Tengri is holding this, like where it would be a child. Remembering back to your vision of Gok Tengri with a child, and just a case of like a name or something close to it, like where that might be. You like a case of needing to find this string to find the rope. You sit down on one of the pews and you activate your eyes, and then it immediately feels like you're swimming against the current. Every time it feels like you're, as you attempt to like swim through the memories of the world and the visions, it's like the land is right there, but every time you try to grab that physicality, that memory, it gets taken away. It kicks in of that time when you thought about the champion and it felt like the universe was fighting you to see it. Now the universe is making sure you don't see it.
Yeah, wow. That's
Something
confirmation, surely.
above is making sure that you cannot find the name of this child. Somebody wants to make sure that any attempt to find this child is hampered with. But you have the eyes of a god,
Come on, Brandon.
and you reach out and you grab a bit of land and you pull it in, and your vision arrives at this enclosed, darkened space. The only light is a floating ball of it, shedding a light on this area. And floating in the middle is this music box.
Oh, not the music box again.
Oh my god.
Is her name written on the box?
No. But something grabs the music box from the dark. A hand. And before the hand escapes into the void, another hand grabs that hand. And then a hand grabs that hand. All along the outskirts of this light is hand grabbing hand to stop the music box from entering the darkness. Until there is one hand left. It's not goblinoid. The hand is furred, haired, slight animalistic to the limb. That hand looks familiar. Like you have seen that hand before. And the vision ends.
Ah.
Third, huh? There's literally 2 cunts that could be. And I say cunt.
A third hand.
Yeah,
Backwards?
a third hand. Not backwards.
Okay, cool. Let's make sure.
No, I was not thinking of a Rakshasa.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking of I was thinking of the man who I thought was me, but now I guess appears to be my arch nemesis. That motherfucker Yuktashiga, who just
Of
seems to be in
course.
fucking everything now. He's just in everything now.
Too many fingers and pies, mate.
I hate Yuktashiga. I hate the way that he talks. I hate the way that he walks. I hate the way that he dresses. Alright. All right, that's fine. I knew that was going to be a long shot. Just being able to see her name written down once would at least help us grab books with her name in it.
Yeah.
But because I don't know how to spell Frigrid in fucking whatever language these all are, I don't know where the fuck she could be. What about Sia?
Hmm?
Can you read any of this?
I highly doubt that. I've got Goblin, Draconic, and Common.
What are you, by the way? You a caster?
Of
Do you know
sorts.
do you know tongues?
I do not.
Hmm.
I'm more of a point in a direction and set things on fire.
I tell you what, next level I'm getting fucking occult initiate, and I'm getting fucking rune eyes of the rune keeper. Let me read any fucking thing I want. Okay. Well, I guess the book with the baby on the front is as good as we can go off of. And I'm assuming the book that I have might be about Goktengri's parents.
Yeah.
Or at least him and his wife. Because either the tree represents him as the tree is, it's like the cross, right? That shit killed Jesus.
Yeah.
But we use that to
Symbolize.
signify him.
Yeah.
It could be the same with Goktengri, or it could, because Goktengri is the one who planted that tree in the first place.
Yeah.
It could be him and his wife. Or the whole thing could be a fucking metaphor, and we literally have the same books, but you just have one cover edition, and I have the variant cover.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I got the steelbook.
You've got the fucking. I've got the paperback mass market, and you've got the hardcover.
Yeah.
Fucking edition. That's okay. I guess there's not really much else to do on that. Is there much else going on in the temple?
No. The Lotus have finished praying. The leader is looking around, he's sort of like taking it in, like what he's seeing. It doesn't look like he's taken his sort of like mask and helmet off to just like a sign of respect in regards to the temple itself. He doesn't look like it's like shaking him or making him puzzled. It kind of looks like what he's seeing, he's just instantly accepting.
Like it's common knowledge for him.
Yeah.
I'll pull my. Well, I haven't really put the book away. I'll walk up to him with the book and ask him if he can he read it.
He goes, unfortunately, I can't.
Well, what?
I know what language it's in. I just can't read it.
Oh, what's the language? That's a good start.
So the book you're holding, it's in Sylvan. It's what they speak in the Feywild, the Shadowfell, and some parts of the Shadow Realm.
Well, some of these other books are written in something else.
Yes, I've just been told that the book that was given to our companion Ezekiel there, that I would hazard a guess to be in a more primordial language.
Right.
And I don't mean primordial like what the natures of the weather are. I mean primordial before there was even Arcosian, or there was before Elvish, or even from those from the Peruvian republics. My guess, that language is created, written, and spoke of from the beginning of time. That's just me wanting to be, think big. Who knows?
Well, what about this scene? Got angry with his wife?
Look, if old mate Goktengri had a wife, all the more power to him. You know?
But from your time, this isn't.
No. No. You look at it, you know, if you see a man holding a woman, and especially his woman, and she's looking at him like she is looking at Goktengri, you know, it's not hard to put two and two together.
No, that's fine. I was just thinking the way that you were looking at the scene, that maybe you had some insight, because in, the modern day, this is
No,
not taught.
no, I have no additional insight. All I can say is that, look, if he does have a wife, then I can only hope that she is alive somewhere out there. And my only questions is, why have you not shown yourself? And and God forbid, and he speaks loud and clear, hey, and if you need help, tell someone. And that tell someone echoes. Tell someone, tell someone, tell someone. The labyrinth shakes. Another earthquake is happening.
Lady.
Except the roof doesn't. None of the roof starts to collapse. But the lights on the wall start to shimmer and shake, flashing between blues and purples, fastly spinning. A vibration that echoes throughout the entire labyrinth. The quake stops. And as you look around, the only thing that's changed is the facial expression of the lady next to Goktengri.
To what?
She looks ahead, straight, at the leader of the 13 Lotus, with a sad expression and stone tears coming down her cheek.
Whoa.
Just realized my fucking mic was up the whole time.
I think she needs help.
He goes, well, that's as bad as a sign from the divines as I can get.
She's alive.
And here?
She could be. Finch. Can you see her with your eyes, or do you need to know her name?
I don't think I would need to know her name, but I don't want to overuse the eyes. It doesn't feel good to use them.
Of course, of course. I apologize for asking. Well, does Goktendri still have his... He hasn't changed at all, right? His arms hasn't changed, he's still cradling? Okay.
He hasn't changed. Just her form, and you look around and every other statue is the exact same.
Just her?
Just her.
Well, if there's nothing else, perhaps we should move on.
Agreed. I can't help her while we're still trapped within this labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yes, the beacon needs to be fixed.
Fix the beacon. My final command from the king. And with that done, He looks around at the other members of the Golden Lotus, and he goes, "I guess we got a new task, a new mission. Fix the beacon, save the lady."
Sounds great. Shall we continue on?
By all
Man,
means.
the man we are following has left behind a trail from the point we were before, so shouldn't be too much further.
He had 6 books, right?
Yes.
We've only seen 2 of them.
Well, you've only seen one, and Finch has seen grabbed one of them. You grabbed one from a guy on the pedestal, so in his possession of 5 other books.
I sent a Wessel. Wessel, do you have room in your bag for 5 books?
I've got room for 4.
Right. Well, you take 4. I'll take the other one then.
Okay.
And I go to put my hand out to the leader.
And he goes, "Hey, I'm not much for one for a reader. Here you go." And he hands you guys the rest of the books.
Cool. I'll write that down. One. Cool.
You guys head back out of the temple, back into the to this small like townish area, and you see that the trail of footed blood steps ends at a certain point, and the path that was there previously that looked up and then turned into a T intersection has now changed into only a singular path left. That earthquake has caused the labyrinth to shift once again.
Oh, wow. Which means we're probably... Ward's moved again. That's annoying. Just going to keep moving forward, right?
Yeah, we can keep looking around the area. Just keep an eye out.
Alright. And with that, follow along the path, hopefully in the same sort of direction that the group originally started on. Winding through a different sort of layout in regards to the one that Finch originally saw through his vision at the beginning of this cycle. It feels like it goes on for a couple more hours before you start to notice that the ambient lights throughout the labyrinth are starting to die out, and the lights on the roof are turning from their blue to a deep purple.
Right. We've had a night time then, right?
Which would indicate the labyrinth's cycle. Putting the realization in that unless you find a place stopped, like that isn't affected by the changing, the labyrinth will shift you.
Yeah, right. So, Purple, we want to stay where we are?
So you want to find fixed locations, like at the previous camp at the start, or like ages past in that smaller town where the temple was found.
Yeah.
In the maze-like paths of this labyrinth, when the cycle changes over, the layout of the labyrinth itself swaps and changes and morphs.
Yeah. Okay. And we know it's an indication of a fixed point when the color changes to purple?
No, the color changing to purple would indicate the nighttime.
Yeah.
Do we want to risk looking for a place or head back to the temple?
We're gonna find a fixed point. Temple's fucking hours behind now.
I will put it to the Lotus guy comes up and he goes, "Look, we've gone much further than what I feel like we should before finding another fixed location. We can either speed it up to to hopefully find a new one, or we sprint back to where we were before."
I see you keep going forward.
Oh my goodness.
I could scout ahead. I run fast. I think. Let me just double check. Pretty sure I do. Wait, me and Finch run fucking fast.
Yes, because he's a monk. He has that extra movement speed.
As you know, he'll probably be faster. I've only got faster initiative.
Yeah, what is my movement speed? It's 40 feet.
I will say that if you decide to push ahead, that there is a chance that you guys will not find a solid state before the labyrinth shifts.
Yeah.
But
I
you
mean,
will
how
be
far
closer
away
to
are
your
we
destination.
from the Himiki no Hero sort of place?
The what?
The marketplace was called Himiki no Hero, wasn't it?
You're in it. That's the name of the labyrinth.
Oh, that's the name of the labyrinth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how far away are we from that?
What do you mean?
From the marketplace?
From where you just were,
Yeah.
it's you'll have enough time to make it back if you choose to make it back. If you sprint.
If we sprint.
Yeah.
Is this temple a fixed point?
The temple. What? Okay, so you can't make it back to the very start. That's too far away. The group will have enough time if you sprint to make it back to the small town with the hidden temple. Or you could gamble it to see if there's another spot further up the way you were going. There is a chance of failure, and with that failure comes something unknown.
Yeah. I don't really want to fuck with that. But it's up to everyone.
I decided to keep going forward.
I'm voting safe. Right, safe.
Yeah, I think it'd be better to head back.
We'll head back.
Alright? He goes, alright then. And you guys sprint back towards the small town with the hidden temple. As you sprint as fast as you can back the way you came, you can hear in the distance the scraping of stone on stone, the sounds of things turning, the labyrinth essentially coming alive to move. And just as you reach the threshold of this small town with like 4 to 5 like hidden buildings or like buildings within this zone, as you turn around, you see that the pathway that you just come from, you just see all the stones and movement just shift and turning, walls cutting in half to turn into other walls. It doesn't appear to be stopping.
Yeah, right. But we're safe with the city now, yeah?
You are as of right now safe within this small town from being whatever it is that the labyrinth does to people.
Okay. I say to him, I say, or well, if we are now safe in this town, I would say that we have an early shut-eye, so we can wake up early enough to have as much time of the day to get to our next point.
Good idea. I think just to play it safe each time, every day we just go out, we do whatever we need to, and if we haven't found a safe zone, we always go back to the last known one.
Sounds like a solid plan.
I think that'll work.
Because I don't think any of us wants to fucking die.
the leader of the Lotus, nods and agrees, and then he gets his men to start checking the rooms that are in this small town. One of the Lotus members starts to move the bodies that are in here, like sort of like into a pile. He gets about halfway of piling like 6 to 7 like bodies together before he collapses.
I run straight to him. I let the leader know.
You as you get closer to him, he sort of like turns around and holds his weapon up to stop you from touching him.
I wasn't going to touch him. I just.
You get close and it smells rancid.
Yeah, Jesus.
You can see like as he goes to take his mask off, and you can see covering like his face are like boils and blisters that are just popping and just oozing.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Like step back.
One of the other members comes over, lights a torch, and just throws it on him.
Yeah. I kind of just watching horror, to be honest. Like. And I just kind of like stand back a bit and I guess just pay respects. I guess just kind of fucking not intervene in their not tradition, but you know what I mean, like their procedure. I guess.
The leader comes up. There's a small bow, and then immediately gets the rest of his members to essentially just burn from a distance the body parts of the other bodies that are here.
Yeah. I turn to Lena and I go, have you seen this often?
They are a small part of some sort of, I don't know, invasion force, expedition. Their attempts to take control of their own needs of the labyrinth, and who we've been fighting since we first arrived.
Right.
The best as we can come up with is there's some sort of from the elemental chaos, mainly just by leftover notes or insignias that we've been able to find in regards to their writing, all primordial. These members are members that were once part of the elemental plane of Earth.
And now just rotting away.
Yeah. Look, if there's one thing that I don't understand, it's the elemental chaos. It's an enigma. I've never been able to figure it out. We've never been able to figure it out. When you look at people that are infected and sick, you thing that first comes to mind, it's got to be some fucking form of disease, necromancers, but we never fight the dead.
Of course.
We fought these guys like this. We fought guys that were once part of the elemental plane of fire, the elemental plane of wind, elemental plane of water, each with their own different form of fighting style. I don't know how they're able to get here, but they do.
Coffee cam.
And with that, he goes and continues to, with his group, clear the rest of the buildings. With the last one done, he says it's all clear. Nearly all of them are essentially just like single-person quarters. There's not much in the way of like storage rooms or trade. Essentially, just like a place to stay.
Yeah. With that, yeah, I'll help him get a camp ready. And once he's complete, I'm gonna have an early night.
All right.
Sounds like a good idea. Get out as soon as possible.
Could be a good
before
idea too if I just maybe sprint ahead on certain days, just because I'm not only well, actually, me and you would be like kind of the same speed, Wessel, because me and you can sprint twice in a turn. So if shit gets
Yeah.
hairy, you know, we have like
You've got an
dashes on top of
extra.
dashes.
You've got an extra 10 feet movement over me.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my full speed is just 20 feet more than yours.
Although if we do end up hitting initiative, I've got an advantage on that.
With that being said, you guys rest and sleep. This being your second cycle within the labyrinth. And then thinking about that. That might be 2 years in the material world that has just passed.
Fucking hell. Way too long.
You guys find rest. And with that, we'll end today's session.
I'd like to say I really love this labyrinth.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
it's
cool.
fucking cool.
Yeah, it's real cool.
And I've had the Caled music as well playing in the background the whole time, and it feels even spookier.
Yeah, would hey, yeah. Man, we're uncovering some fucking deep lore shit, dude.
Kind
The
of
one
reminds me
true
of
God,
Maze Runner as
Gopindri.
well.
It's fucking sick.
Well, Beck, this is your first session. What'd you think?
It's awesome. Honestly, the world building is amazing, man.
Yeah, you guys pretty hard on that.
I was saying to Jacob a little while ago, I was like, I'm starting to fear now that that Beck's in the game, because then there's two players in my game that gonna like hear how he DMs, and then when I DM and try and copy, then go, that's a Jacob thing. But that's good.